Hello, everyone, and welcome to the C Spot. I am Chef C, and this is the C Spot. Before we get started today, I want to say thank you all for subscribing to my channel. Thank you all for viewing it, your comments, your responses, the love, everything. It's been a while since we filmed. Life happens, and when life happens, you have to deal with it. So that's what we did. We dealt with it. It was a very interesting time. We had fun. I cooked a lot of things. Some of them got filmed, some of them didn't. Didn't have time to put them on the channel, but we're back now, getting in a flow. The website will be updated. That's the cspot.com, THECSPOTFOOD.com, CSpot Food. You can also reach me by the email, cspotfood@gmail.com. You can see me on the gram. How about that? And you can also catch me on Facebook. So now that you know the ways to catch me, you know where we've been, and you're ready to try some new recipes. How about we do smothered pork chops? Yes, smothered pork chops. And we're also going to do some, dare I say it? Dare I say it? I'm going to say it.
Say it.
We're going to do some au gratin turnips. Yes, I said it. Au gratin turnips. This is going to be your potato solution. You know, we're not supposed to have a lot of bariatric patients. Not supposed to have a lot of potatoes. Oh, but I never met a fry I didn't like. So we're going to do this. We're going to do this with some turnips. So we're going to cook today. These meals, the au gratin scalloped potatoes, scalloped turnips, it's going to take you about an hour to cook. Yep. But the pork is going to take you about 30 minutes. So do your taters first, and halfway in the middle, start your pork. And that way everything will be done at the same time. You'll see mine done at the same time because I'm going to stop the camera and do it. That's behind the scenes magic. We have a little of that going on. I have a wonderful surprise for everyone. I have my sous chef is with me today.
Yeah.
You hear him in the background. You hear our princess running around. That's the jingle bell that you hear running through the house. She's that's little Abby. She's running around here. That's my Minister Johnson. And the big girl, Maple, she's laying on the floor over yonder because you know she's not allowed in the kitchen. So now that I've said all that and I've talked a lot, let's get to cooking. All right, so you're gonna have a medium-sized pot on your stove. You're gonna put some butter in. I'm using unsalted. If you want to know the brand that I'm using Kerrygold. If you want to use coconut oil, go for it. Not my fave, but it works. All right, so what we're actually going to do is we're going to make our cheese sauce for our potatoes. Now, you can call these au gratin potatoes. You can call them scalloped potatoes. They're similar, but we like cheese in this house, so I don't think I would be able to get by not putting cheese in here somehow. I think the sous chef would revolt on me. So I have, I'm going to combine the two. So I've got my butter melted. I've got some onions and garlic. This is a half an onion that I've diced up. I am not going to put the whole half. I'm going to put about a quarter of it. Not even that much, really. Maybe like a half a cup. That's a lot of onion. I did a red onion. You can do a white onion. You can do a yellow onion. Got some garlic that I chopped up earlier. You're going to use about 1 or 2 cloves. I will have a link to the recipe, the full recipe, in the description box. So we're going to cook these. We're not going for color. We're going to cook these until they're translucent, which means they're going to be soft. soft and flavorful. I don't know about y'all, but the smell of onions and really onions and peppers are a wonderful thing in your house. This is onions and garlic, and that's still just as good. So we're going to cook that down. While we're waiting on that, we're going to get our 8x11 pan. Mine's a little smaller because it's just the two of us, and I don't want to overdo it. I only use 2 turnips, and I sliced them thin. I used a mandolin. You can use a food processor, or you can just use your knife. I've got them pretty thin. See? I'm going to spray my pan. We're using avocado oil. If you want to use the PAM, use the PAM. And all we're going to do is we're going to put these in your pan. No fancy design. We're not going for ratatouille. I know folks say, what is ratatouille? It's a dish. Famous in France. It's also a movie with a rat. I can't handle you. I don't do rats. So if you gather what I'm doing, this is actually, we're just actually going to go through and just layer. And then the cheese sauce is going to be on top. And it's going to cook everything nicely. And this recipe, you know, I'm a Googler. I'm a searcher. I saw different versions of this on the Google. Well, I got a lot of turnips. I think that's about it. That's a lot. So I found the recipe on Google. Turn my heat down. Because again, we're not trying to go for color. We want a softness. We want them to be translucent. And you're going to ask me, how is a red onion translucent? You'll know. You'll see mine in a minute. And I'm still layering. Not bad. We can go ahead and use all of them. Why not? Now, let's talk about cheese. I have a big rat in my house. I can't bring cheese in the house and it stay. It always disappears. I love him. That's all I'm going to say about that. So we have, you can use white cheddar. I'm going to use, I'm actually going to use yellow cheddar. Just so you can see a variety. Okay. So we've got our onions and our garlic soft. You know, you touch that side of that and you just know it's hot, but you touched it anyway. Anyway, so I've got it soft. I got my turnips prepared in my pan. Now, once we, now we're going to add our, lost my train of thought. We're going to add our broth. We need 1 cup of broth, and we need 2 cups of cream. Here's where I'm going to differ a little bit from the recipe. That's 1 cup of broth. And I got 2 cups of cream. Whew. I'm going to put 4 ounces of cream cheese. Because in my mind, what's a sauce? What's a cream sauce without cream cheese? I just made that up. That's not true. That's not the way I always think. But we're going to do that today. The liquid's going to help that melt. It's also going to help that thicken. So we're going to let this come to a boil, simmer, and then we're going to add our seasoning. What seasoning are we using today? We're going to use some salt and pepper, normal. We're going to use some thyme, some oregano. All right, so for those of you who might be culinary smart, watch a lot of Food Network, what's the name of this sauce? If I was doing it the correct way and the basic way, what would be the name of this sauce?
Bechamel.
Correct. That is one of the mother sauces, bechamel. My doggy's having a moment. Anytime I'm in this kitchen, I tell you, she's right here with me. Dog in my heels. I'm going to switch out my big spoon for my little whisk for a little bit. Just to make sure that my cream cheese is melted in there. All even. I'll turn up the heat just a little bit so we can get us to a simmer. But I'm going to go ahead and add the heat increase is going to help us to thicken the sauce a little bit as well, because you know you've got cream in it, and cream thickens when it heats. So let's add some seasoning. You can use fresh thyme. I'm using dried. It's 2 teaspoons of dried thyme. A half a teaspoon of black pepper. I'm actually going to add black pepper and white pepper because I like white pepper in my bechamel. It's not going to be spicy, y'all. I could make it spicy, but I'm not going to. Add some salt. We're going to add some fresh nutmeg. Now, if you don't have the fresh nutmeg, remember, as I've said several times, I am extra. Please use the dried nutmeg. We don't want a whole lot. We just want enough so in the background you taste it and you be like, what is that? Give it a little mix. As soon as it heats up, we're going to add our cheese. Because what's a cheese sauce without cheese? I've got my shredded cheddar. I pick at my husband about being a rat and eating on my cheese, but you know, he had help. You know he did. When you put in your first, you're going to use about 2 cups of cheese. About 16 ounces. You math whizzes know that as a pound. I'm actually going to taste my cheese sauce in a minute, because we're going to add some more cheese. Add some more. And I'm also going to add some Parmesan. And that's a me thing, because I like Parmesan. You'll see the white cheddar, the white cheese in here. That's some mozzarella that I had shredded up in my food processor. And I just went ahead and mixed them because, you know, why not? And I will tell you honestly, to me, mozzarella cheese doesn't have really a lot of flavor. It just gives you that gooiness. so you don't have to have it. All right. I said I was going to add some Parmesan. So we're going to add some Parmesan. I've got grated, and I've added about 3 tablespoons. And I'm going to mix it in. I'll turn up my heat just a little bit more. Let's test for some flavor. Make sure we've got good flavors going on. Always test as you go. Oh my. Yes! We've got good flavor. We are hitting it out the ballpark. Need to stop hitting that side. That side is hot. Sous Chef,
Yo.
we've got good flavor going on over here.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm just saying, we're hitting this out the park. Gonna let it come up to temp a little bit, and we will be ready. We'll be ready to pour it over our turnips. Preheat. Make sure your oven is preheated at 350 degrees. All I'm doing right now is to make sure that all my cheese is melted, nothing sticking to the bottom. We want everybody to go in that pot. Ooh. All right, so you're gonna watch me attempt to pour this in. I'm gathering some aluminum foil. We're going to try not to burn my hands, because I don't really know how messy I want to be today. Let's not be that messy. We'll use the ladle. And you just want to pour it on top. Now is usually the time that you realize you should have used the bigger pan. I refuse to undo this. Now, what you could do is you could treat it like a lasagna and do a layer of sauce, layer of cheese, layer of noodles, layer of sauce, layer of cheese, layer of noodles. And that will ensure that you got cheesiness all the way through. I'm quite special, as you can tell. I'm just going to make sure that all my sauce is going all the way down in the pan by just maneuvering and stuff here and there. Just making sure that stuff is going all the way down. And I'm perfectly okay with having more sauce left over. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to cover this with some cheese. We'll make sure all our turnips are covered in the sauce. Make sure that we're juicy all the way through. I had a lot of sauce left over, didn't I? That's okay. It'll get used. I see macaroni in its future. Yes, you heard me. I'm gonna take that sauce. I'm gonna take some macaroni noodles, some of my plant-based macaroni noodles. I'm gonna put that sauce on there. Put some more cheese in between the layers, and we're gonna have some mac and cheese one day with the rest of that sauce. All right. So I've got my cheese on top. You can put breadcrumbs on here if you want. We're not bread people. I'm actually gonna spray my pan. I'll spray my foil. Do I need just one? Or one works. Now, because I know this is gonna bubble, I'm gonna sit it in my oven on top of another pan, on top of a sheet pan. All right, we're gonna start our smothered pork chop.
The maple bacon now.
Yeah, we're using maple bacon because that's all I got. All right, so we've got our bacon. I've got like 3 strips cut up. We're going to get it nice and brown. We're actually going to use that that fat in that pan is what we're going to use in order to cook the pork chops. While we're waiting for that to brown. Now, you can use any cut of pork chop that you want. I'm going to use boneless center fillets. I'm going to season them with some salt and some pepper. I'm going to season them right here with some salt and some pepper. We're going to season both sides. I'm also going to put some of our house seasoning on it. Hey, by the way, if you'd like to try some of our house seasoning, it's going to be available on the website.
What?
Word. I've seasoned this side. I seasoned it with the house seasoning. I didn't do it with salt and pepper. And we'll put those on as soon as this bacon is crisp up. All right, so we've got our bacon browned. I'm going to remove the bacon out. We're going to leave the fat in. Remember, I said that's what we're going to cook with. If fat is flavor, then I am effing delicious.
Wow.
Well, we all know that fat is flavor, though. And bacon fat is a wonderful thing. Now, for those of you who are not eating pork, you can do this with chicken. And instead of using bacon fat, use the avocado oil. Got a little smoke going on. I'm going to turn my heat down. We're going to put our chops on. This is going to be real quick, y'all. These are going to cook for about 4 minutes each side. All right. Let's flip and see what we got going on. Good color. All right, we're going to let it cook on this side another 4 minutes. And then we're going to move them out and start on our sauce. All right, we've got good color on both sides. We got some chopped mushrooms. We're going to add those in. Now, if you run out of grease in your pan, you can always add a little bit of avocado oil just to add you some more grease. We're going to put in 2 cloves of garlic. I've already got mine diced. We're going to let that cook a little bit. As the mushrooms soften, they will release juice. Their juices. We're going to add a little salt and pepper and some dried thyme. You can use fresh thyme. I'm going to use dried. And some salt and pepper. And that's what that is. That's just salt and pepper mixed together. My kosher salt and my fresh cracked black pepper. Season as you go. That way every part is seasoned. Right on? Because we want flavor. We're taking out so many things. We have to get some flavor in there.
Come around with the plain food if you want to. You'll have a problem.
All right, so we're going to make what's known in the culinary world as a roux. We're not going to use flour. Today's flour of choice is going to be cassava. So I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of cassava flour. We're going to see if this works. Yes, I am freestyling. And as my mushrooms soften, and we have that wonderful mushroom smell going on, I'm going to sprinkle two tablespoons of cassava flour. You do not have to use cassava. You can use regular flour. I'm all about using flour substitutes. I just haven't found one that I like yet. So we're going to get a little color on this. Because what's a roux without color? Flour. It's just flour. And a roux is equal parts fat and flour. You normally see us make that roux with butter. You normally see us make that roux with butter and flour. I've used, what have I used? I've used bacon fat and flour. So that shows you right there. You got flavor going all in that. All right. We're getting ready to go in. 1 cup of veggie broth. You can use the stock in a box if you wanna. No shame in it. No shame in your game. We're going to bring it to a boil. I'm adding in a little at a time. That way we don't seize up and have lumps in our gravy. Nobody likes a lumpy gravy. Well, somebody might like a lumpy gravy, but Caritha don't like a lumpy gravy. We're going to see if I'm amphibious in a minute using amphibious. I love me. Ambidextrous. I know the right word. Hey, sous chef, what utensil am I using in my scan pan? And why, sir, am I using a plastic whisk? We did a tasting event at the for the bariatric support group, and I shocked everybody because I was using a I want all that flavor out of there. I was using a metal utensil in my scan pan. He stopped and he goes, "Whoa, are you sure you're going to do that?" I said, "I'm fine." I just wanted to let you know that you can use them. You just really shouldn't use them. My gosh, y'all, I think we got a gravy. We need it to come up to a boil. Once it comes up to a boil. A what, Caritha? A boil. A boil. Once it comes to a boil, we're going to add back in our pork. We're going to put a lid on it and let it smother. Yeah. See you back in a bit. All right, we got a good boil going. And you know I'm putting these juices back in here, right? You know I am. You don't want dry pork. Who wants dry meat? I said what I said. I said what I said. We're going to reduce our heat. And I'm just going to try. I'm being lazy and don't want to pull out another utensil, so I'm going to use my tongs to try and get some coverage on the meat so that it can get all those juices in there. Ooh, I'm hungry. You hungry? Sous chef says he's hungry. All right, we got a good boil going. Reduce your heat down to medium low. Add your lid. We're going to cook it to the, we're going to let it simmer to the sorry, try it again. We're going to let it simmer until the pork cooks through. Going to give it around, probably about another 10 to 15 minutes. Maybe 10. And then we'll be back. Okay? All right, so once you let that cook for about 10 to 15 minutes more, you're going to take your bacon. See that? Sous chef didn't think I was going to use that bacon. I knew he was going to try and eat it. All right, so we're going to plate up, and then we're going to get ready to eat.
Word?
Word. Ooh-wee. We're done. See how good that looks? Almost can't wait to eat it. So you have your what did I call them? Your scalloped potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got
turnips, y'all.
Which are your scalloped turnips. You've got, I made some cheddar biscuits. Yes, those are legal cheddar biscuits. So I made some cheddar biscuits to go along with the meal. And then here, we have our smothered pork chops with our mushroom and gravy. Now, you could add cream to that gravy if you really want to. I didn't want to. But you can add cream to it if you want to. I'm just going to say I'm ready to eat. So we're going to take a bite.
Take a bite.
Flavor. Flavor everywhere. Flavor. That gravy, y'all.
Hey, ease up.
Then you got your scalloped turnips. Yeah. That'll make your grandma proud. It's good stuff. Thank you for cooking with me today here at the C Spot. It's always a pleasure to cook with you. I've had fun. I hope you've had fun. Hope you learned something. Hope you learned a new, nutritious recipe. Let's get healthy, y'all. It's about that time for the holidays. Yep, let's get healthy, y'all. Let's get on it. Remember, in everything that you do, smile and enjoy. We are available at the Instagram. We are on Facebook. You can reach me via email. You can reach us via the YouTube. You can reach us on the website, THECSPOTFOOD.com. That is us.
That's C Spot food, y'all.
It is, y'all. It is. Give me some suggestions. What you want to see? What you want to see me cook next? And yes, I'm leaving that blooper right there. We will see you next time. And remember, in all you do, enjoy that journey. See you later.